Jake Matthews and Andre Fialho in the welterweight division. Now, first thing first is going to be the betting odds. Very, very close. And the fight happened on sort of short notice. I mean, it's not like they're just randomly getting put together in like 2 weeks. But Andre Fialho just fought like a few months ago. Before that, fought even less than that. And he's had so many fights in the last 6 months. And he's taken another one. He is the favorite here at minus 150. So he's slight favorite at that, but he's 28 years old, a little bit older than Jake Matthews, which honestly is surprising because Jake Matthews is such an experienced UFC veteran, fighting in the UFC all the way back since 2014, getting mainly submission wins. Deshaun Johnson right there, Vagan the Rocha, literally all the wins either by submission or a decision. If he's losing, it's mainly going to be by finish. Submission right there, ground and pound TKO, a split decision, anaconda, and then a arm triangle choke submission. So the main way you're going to beat him is going to be by a submission. But you already know Andre Fialho is not the type of guy to go out there and look for a submission. He's not going to try doing that. He's not going to take down Jake Matthews and get him with a Darce. He's going to try to keep the fight on the feet, throw bombs, and try to catch him with that left hook. We saw what he was able to do with a one punch on Cameron Van Camp, and it was an easy first round left hook knockout. He got wobbled a little bit before that, but he tends to get wobbled a little bit, kind of rocks the cobwebs out, and then he comes back and knocks them out. He's on a 5-fight first round knockout streak with only one loss in between there to Michel Pereira by a decision. Haven't really seen any fights where he's been like out grappled, out or anything like that. And I do believe this fight with Jake Matthews is not going to be one of those where Jake's going to take the fight down and control Andre Fialho on the ground. The fight is going to stay on the feet. Jake Matthews is not that kind of dominant wrestler, dominant grappler. He's got decent game down there in that aspect, but he's not going to dominate him on the ground. There may be a few instances where he will land the takedown and that may impact the judging just a little bit, but with the factor that Andre is just so much of a better striker. He throws literally more volume. He hits way harder than Jake Matthews does. And the fact that his cardio is honestly very, very solid. If he can just like light Jake Matthews up in that first and second round, keep just enough cardio in that third round, just make it interesting, keep alive, and just not get taken down by Jake Matthews, I think he can easily win this fight. Not a fight where I'm going to be like Andre Fialho knockout. That's been the case for a lot of the past fights for Andre Fialho, and I'm assuming if I go down here, yeah, there's a lot of people going Fialho knockout. I'm not one of them. I think Fialho is going to get a decision here. I do think this fight could be a knockout, could be a submission win for Jake Matthews or something like that. But Jake has never been KO'd before. He's been TKO'd, but he's never been actually knocked out. And that is how Andre Fialho wins a lot of his fights. And kind of has that thing where with Matthews being the better grappler, better wrestler, if Fialho does rock him or something like that, Jake Matthews could kind of do the Charles Oliveira strategy and kind of play the bait in the grappling and wrestling. But I don't think we see a knockout. I think Fialho wins the first round, wins the second round, and then slightly edges out that third round for a unanimous decision. I'm assuming the odds this fight goes to a decision are probably going to be crazy. Actually, pretty 50-50 right there. Plus 130 and then minus 160 to go to a decision. I got the dog money on the fight going to a decision. I don't think Matthews is the guy to get knocked out very often. Andre Fialho by a unanimous decision.